Hi, I'm Kimberly Lewis, and I'm your Motivational Muse. Advocating in times like these. The recent news has just been saturated with commentators and reporters and individuals and companies and politicians talking about the recent executive orders and what they mean. But what we haven't heard a whole lot about are the people who are actually affected. And at this point, we're not sure who all of that is. But what we can do is, as nonprofit leaders, we can advocate for the communities we serve and the people that we serve. And I have a few tips to help you do just that. I believe the societal biases and misinformation are at the root of what we're seeing in our communities today. Communities, businesses, and nonprofit leaders can play a vital role in combating societal biases through a multifaceted approach that combines education, advocacy, and community engagement. Here's the breakdown of effective strategies that we can use. First, education and awareness. Bias awareness training. Offer workshops and training programs to educate individuals and organizations about the different types of biases, be they implicit, explicit, or systematic, their impact, and how to recognize and mitigate them. This training should be tailored to specific audiences and contexts. And if you go to my website, you can use my book entitled Biases, a Guide to Uncovering Areas of Unconscious Biases to guide your teams. Public education campaigns are vital for launching public awareness to raise awareness about the pervasiveness of the biases and its consequences, and there are many unintended consequences. You can use compelling storytelling, data, and accessible language to reach a broad audience. Utilize various media channels, including social media, traditional media, and community events to get the word out about how biases can really hurt our communities and those that we serve. You need to research and disseminate information. Conducting research on the prevalence and the impact of specific biases and the findings through various reports and surveys and publications can help inform policymakers and can help inform businesses and nonprofits and other leaders that are engaging in practices. Number 2, and most importantly, advocacy and policy change. Lobbying and doing some policy reform can help legislators to address systematic biases in areas such as employment, education, and disability services. This involves working with policymakers, engaging in grassroots advocacy, and mobilizing public support. Now, there are legal challenges, so you want to support legal challenges to discriminatory practices and policies in any way that you can. This might involve providing legal resources or partnering with legal organizations to protect those that you serve and your way of servicing them. Next, community dialogue and reconciliation. You can facilitate dialogue and reconciliation initiatives that bring people together and bring groups together from different backgrounds to address the misunderstandings and build relationships. You can design and implement programs that promote positive interactions between individuals and groups from different backgrounds. This might involve a shared activity, a collaborative project, or opportunities for cross-cultural understanding. Mentorship and sponsorship programs are great ways to support individuals from underrepresented groups and help them to access opportunities and achieve their full potential. I also encourage you to support marginalized communities. Provide direct support and resources to marginalized communities that are disproportionately affected by bias. This might include providing access to essential services or advocating for their rights and amplifying their voices. By promoting inclusive practices, we encourage organizations and institutions to continue exercising inclusive practices that work for everyone in hiring and promoting and service delivery. This includes developing culturally competitive programs and policies and creating a welcoming and accessible environment. And you can even use technology, such as using online platforms and resources. And you can develop some resources that provide information about bias and promote dialogue and connect individuals and organizations to combat bias. Finally, intersectionality. Recognize that biases intersect and affect individuals in complex ways. Address the multiple dimensions of discrimination that is experienced by individuals based on race, gender, sexual orientation, class, disability, or other factors. You can also develop long-term strategies for combating those biases that are sustainable and replicable in different contexts. I encourage you to work together with other organizations and stakeholders. By encouraging these strategies, nonprofits and businesses can play a powerful role in challenging biases that are affecting us today. You can promote equity and build a more just and inclusive society, again, for everyone. The key is a sustained, multi-pronged approach that combines education, advocacy, and community engagement. Folks, biases are real. Everyone has them. But the trick is to understand who you are, where those biases come from, and not allow them to taint your view of your neighbor, of your coworker, of your employees, of those people that you serve. If you examine your personal biases and you find ways that you can connect with other people, you'll find they're not that different than you are. We all need each other. So let's do a personal check first on ourselves with our own biases, and then encourage our communities, our coworkers, our politicians, and everyone, our stakeholders, to do the same. If we come together to advocate for fairness for everyone, we'll all be much better off. I thank you, and I am your Motivational Muse.